Live, all the way live. Don't even have to walk. Don't even have to drive. This is your boy DJ Wolf here, telling you to stay positive, stay focused, everybody, because you have a shot at stardom like anybody else in this country. So don't let one monkey or anybody stop the show for you. It's on and popping. Let's get this show rocking here. It's the DJ Wolf Show live, coming your way live, all the way live. Tell them, announcer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the DJ Wolf Show. In progress right now. DJ Wolf Live. On For All to Hear TV and Spreaker. The best content. Thought-provoking. Honest, meaningful conversations. With your host, the one and only. Here he is. Live. Your boy. The one and only. The great one. The live one. The one and only. On DJ Wolf Live. Here on For All to Hear TV and Spreaker. On YouTube and Spreaker Live. Ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls from the DMV and around the world, baby. It's the one and only. Here we go. The D. The J. Wolf, 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 Wolf. Here we go. Wolf, Wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live on DJ Wolf Live. It's the one and only DJ Wolf. Here's DJ Wolf.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Oh, yeah. This is DJ Wolf Live, baby. All here. All righty now. This is DJ Wolf Live right now here on the studio here at the Southern Maryland studios of MEVP, baby, out here in Southern Maryland. Today the weather's nice out here and everything, but I was just watching the newscast just a second ago about the stuff that's going on in Houston, man, and it's pretty bad down there right now. It's at catastrophic levels. I mean, rain is like pouring in there like a river, man, just washing the shore, and it's hit several cities around the coastline around that Texas region, and thousands of homes and people have been displaced. I'm praying for y'all, man. That's ridiculous. And this is not the first time they've had problems with catastrophic disasters like that in Texas before, especially that region. So I'll be praying for y'all, because I know that it can't be easy trying to deal with that mess. That's just, it's just really bad. And I don't know what the president's going to do. I don't know what he's planning on doing. The only thing I know is that he's supposed to be going down on Tuesday. He has an issue. Well, I don't know. In fact, I don't think has Texas issued a state of emergency. I haven't heard that they officially have. They should. But they're talking about, according to NBC News just a few minutes ago, they're talking about another 50 inches of rain. So, oh my God, this is ridiculous, man. So welcome to the show here. I want to then get a chance to notify anybody on my Twitter side. If you know any people that follow me on Twitter, please let them know my show is on live right now. In fact, let me see if I could actually send a link. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna try to see if I can send one myself. Shoot. Why does it come up with Start Hangouts? I'm already in Hangouts. This thing, watch this thing. They get confusing. At least I hope. Yeah, it's on. I don't want to be hitting it twice. Oh, I see what happened. It started me. Okay. This is weird though. Why would it click out? Why would I need that? Well, let me check something, guys. I want to try to see if I can send my followers, let them know that I'm on right now. So I want to do this here. Bear with me for one moment. I'm trying to do something here. Hold on. Maybe I could do it. I guess I can't do it that way. Well, anyway, guys, if you know people who actually hear me on the air right now, Twitter, please let them know I'm on the air right now. Right now. So, in any case, dropping stuff. Hold on a second. I really don't know where to begin. Other than let's talk about the fight last night. So at first, I was not going to get the fight. I'll be honest with you. I had no desire to get it at first. An MMA fighter wanting to fight a boxer from the WBC. All right. Number one, I kind of like was very much apprehended about it in the first place. And I didn't think much of it. I thought it was a publicity stunt initially when they were talking about it. I didn't think they were serious about it. And then they went ahead and did the thing, made arrangements to make it happen between the MW champion and the WBC champion to fight. I went ahead and got the fight yesterday morning. Just as my son was talking about he wanted to come hang out and watch it. I did a 5-minute segment on it last night, or close to a 5-minute segment on it last night live. As I saw all of the people I follow on YouTube posting broadcasts of the fight. A couple of them did anyway. One of them actually showed the whole fight. I was like, wow. So I said, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have spent the $99 on the fight. I really wouldn't have. I would sit there watching it, and I probably would have called him. Tommy had the fight on. Tommy Sotomayor had the fight on last night, and then he actually did a show after that. I actually was going to call him, but I was just out of it. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and watch this fight because I knew I had to get up and get my praise on the next morning. And thank goodness I actually was able to get in and be up because I didn't get to bed till 2 o'clock and I was up by 6, ready to go. But I didn't see any of the prelims. I saw none of the preliminaries. None of them. None of the undercards. Not one. And I taped it and I still haven't watched them. And so me and my son was talking about the fight, and all of a sudden I fell asleep. Matter of fact, because the prelims officially started around about 6 o'clock last night. But and this was on Fox, and I think Fox showed one of them or something like that. Yeah, I think they showed a couple of them on Fox. But the pay-per-view didn't come on at 7. And then by about 8:30, I think I was out. I don't even remember what happened at that 8:30 court. I was out. And I woke up and I heard, a couple of announcers talking about the fight. And I was like, damn, that was just in time. Because I really don't. I watched the preliminaries, and some of the preliminaries are pretty good. I just couldn't get into them, Now, if I was at a fight party, it would be different. If I was at a fight party where, people were you know, hanging out or whatever, and talking about the fight. You know how you know if you ever been to a fight party, and I've been to a few of them over the years. And I would have stayed up for a while and watched those other fights, considering I was actually out somewhere. And usually when I'm out, especially at night, I try to be as alert as I can be. You know, my son actually had suggested we go out to a bar or something to go watch a fight, but I was like, I ain't, no. If I hadn't went to church the next day, I probably would have went on ahead and done that. But I said, nah, I can't do that. But besides, I ain't really in the bars like that no more. I'm over 50 now. I rarely go into bars. I rarely go to bars anymore. Now, if I'm on vacation, I might go to a hotel bar or something like that. I'll go to somewhere across the street and get some food at a bar someplace. But that's it. That's as far as I go. Ain't all anymore. I don't do a lot of running around like I used to. Not that I don't. I'm not an active person. I'm an active person, but I just don't do all that anymore. You know, that's kind of, beyond me. So, and it would have been cool. We could have done that. Maybe another time we'd do that, you know. But it was good. It was good to see him. We was good to chit chat about the fight and hang out. I didn't get any beer or anything like that, so I probably should have. Next time I will. But in any case, it was a decent fight, and I want to talk about that right quick because the first round, I'll be totally honest. The first round, McGregor got lucky. All right. He called Mayweather one on the chin early in the first round. I give him credit. But you can tell by the way he fought that his skill set wasn't quite there. You know, not as a professional boxer. And he kept the first couple of rounds, he kept his right hand kept going up high. I never understood that because him and Mayweather were almost about the same height. You know, and he ain't that much, he's not really any much shorter than Mayweather, really. He may be a little bigger in size, but that's about it. But to be honest, he didn't have the skill as a boxer. You could tell he has skills as an MMA fighter because I saw some moves he tried to pull as an MMA fighter. But you got to learn that you're not an MMA fighter when you're fighting as a boxer. Okay. Because those were some of the throws that he was throwing. And I could tell. He wasn't boxing the boxer. He wasn't prepared. But I say he caught a couple of them on Mayweather. Not a lot. Not many. He missed a lot of punches too. But I know that's why I was looking at the scorecard later on. And I'm like, wait a minute. How the hell you get 9 points? No, I think it was like 10 over the first 3 rounds. He scored 10 over Mayweather's 9. And then Mayweather scored the others. After that, he went up. And as the rounds, continued and as he learned or felt his way around McGregor as a boxer. Because that's the first time he actually saw McGregor as a boxer. So, the first couple of rounds, he wasn't going to rush it. And, of course, the Showtime commentators, which I think doesn't have the skills of the HBO commentators. And I'm going to say that publicly. The HBO boxing commentators know their shit. The Showtime commentators don't know what the fuck they be talking about. Excuse my French. They don't. They were just dogging out Mayweather early out. Oh, Mayweather losing. He don't look like the Mayweather of old. I'm like, wait a minute, motherfucker. He hadn't boxed. First of all, he hadn't boxed in 2 years. All right, that's number one. Number two, he's trying to feel out McGregor. I told my son earlier. I said, why are you saying that shit? I mean, it's early in the early rounds. He's trying to feel out McGregor, and y'all expect him to automatically knock him out. And I didn't expect that. What? Because, first of all, Mayweather is a very smart, calculated boxer. I don't give a fuck whether you like this dude or not. Mayweather knows how to box. You got to give him credit. He's a very calculated boxer. He was taught that. He was raised that. He was born that way. He was bred that way. He knows of what he does, of what he speaks when it comes to boxing. He knows his shit. Now, I don't give a damn if you like him or not. Respect the game. Respect his game as a boxer. That's why he does what he do. You know? I hadn't totally been a fan of him, at some time, but I've always respected his game as a boxer. You know, you got to respect the game. You know, I said, don't hate the player, hate the game, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but I was noticing in the first few rounds, Mayweather was trying to learn his style, which McGregor didn't have no real style. And later on in the rounds, as McGregor was dancing, early on in the rounds, I'm sorry, he was dancing around, thinking I'm going to, get some shots at him. Man, he tried to clown on Mayweather for a minute. He did all that fancy footwork and throwing your arms all over the place with no real skill as a boxer. Mayweather just calculating your ass at the same time. This was after the first 3 rounds. So, come 4. Okay, he tried to get a couple more shots in. 5, then 6, and then 7. You could tell McGregor in round 7 was showing signs of wear, because MMA fighters usually they do 3 rounds and out, or 5 rounds for championships, and that's what I actually read. So they really ain't used to going that many rounds. Okay, Mayweather has gone the distance on a number of professional boxing fights. This is what he do. McGregor don't. And like I said, by round 7, you could see signs of wear. And by the 8th round, that's when Mayweather started picking up the pace. Because by then, he learned his style. He learned his moves. He learned the way he was throwing punches. He learned all of that. All right? So it took a couple of rounds for him to figure him out, but he did. And notice Mayweather wasn't dancing all around the place like he normally do, because of this guy, the way he boxed and stuff. So he let him do all the dancing. And once he let him do all the dancing, guess what happened? He slowed his roll. He was wearing himself out. You kept seeing how he was leaning on Mayweather because he didn't have stamina. By then he had lost that stamina real quick, real fast. Mayweather stamina picked up. And by round 8, that's where he had him. 8 and 9, and then 10, he just went for the kill. Now, and that's what led to his win. Now, here's what tripped me out. In the post-fight commentary, McGregor talking about, well, he hadn't started, could have kept going. Bullshit. By round 10, you were done. Mayweather had you on the ropes. Mayweather was throwing bows on your ass. You were done. If he kept going, he would have dropped you. No joke. If he could get going another 2 minutes, you were done. There's no doubt about it. You had no fight left in you, McGregor. Just be honest, dude. You're not a boxer. You're an MMA fighter. You're supposed to be one of the best. I haven't actually seen you fight as an MMA fighter, but I can tell you as a boxer, you're lousy. And as for Mayweather, brother, you made your coins. Don't come back. Be a commentator. I will say that. Be a commentator. Because I think you're better off at this point. You know the game. You play the game. You're winning. Matter of fact, both of y'all won, really. Because now, Mayweather's in the books, record books, 50-0. I don't know 3 boxers like that. 50-0. Never lost. Retired, bro. Stay retired. Go enjoy your life. Keep investing like you're doing, man. I think that's good. That's good, too. McGregor, on the other hand, he has an option to go ahead and go back into MMA, become a commentator, or he can go back and continue doing what he's doing in MMA, and he can call the shots now. So he's not going to lose out. either way. And of course, they're gonna still prop him up. Yeah, I went out in the ring and I went up against one of the greatest fighters of all time. But he didn't win, and he looked like shit towards the end, as far as I'm concerned. But I thought it was a good fight. Wasn't a great fight, but it was a good fight. It was better than the Pacquiao fight because that Pacquiao fight was some bullshit. And Pacquiao waited too little, too late to win a fight Mayweather at this point. He should have went ahead and went in with the 60-40 slice because Mayweather's the champion. And unless you knock him out, you ain't going to get what you want any damn way. You know? And Mayweather, as far as I'm concerned, made out like a fat rat in this match because my understanding, not only was he a boxer, his promotional company was the one that controlled the shots on this. So he made out big time. Yeah. So my hat's off to him. I was going I guess I could talk about a little bit more. About, and I said I was going to talk about this too. I'm looking at it right now on my screen on YouTube here. Two comedians who I actually followed from the time I was a kid. You know, very young. Dick Gregory and Jerry Lewis. And they came to prominence as comics in the 1950s. All right. But two different perspectives of comedy. Okay. They really were innovators of their era, if you really think about it. Okay. One took the route of political humor and brought it to a whole new level where his social political humor was able to enact and influence change in this country during the civil rights era. The other comedian elevated his game and took physical comedy to a whole new level. Okay. So I'm going to start with Dick Gregory. Now, I'm not going to go into where he was born, all of that. Actually, I think he was born. Was it born in Texas? I have to find out. But anyway, you know, I could do this. Let me do this right quick. Because I really wanted to give him, I want to give him some shine. I want to give both of them shine because, like I said, I followed both of these guys' careers for years. Try to go to Wiki. Let's see. Always happens. You know, I was just having to think about that. It's just something I really wanted to talk about those guys, man. And okay, spell right quick. Should have done this earlier. Yeah. I should have talked about this. Now, Dick Gregory, I didn't know that. Okay. Birth name was Richard Claxton Gregory. He was born in St. Louis. I didn't know that. He was born in St. Louis on October 12, 1932. He started stand-up in 1954. And like I said, he was a comedian, civil rights activist. He was a social critic. He was a writer. He was an entrepreneur. Of course, we all know he was in the last 20 years was a conspiracy theorist and occasional actor, which he did act. So yeah, so one of the movies I saw him in was Putney Swoop. That was a good movie. And he was a pioneer in stand-up comedy for his no holds barred sets, and where he talked about bigotry and racism in his sets. He started his performances in clubs that were segregated until 1961, where he became the first uh, black comedian to successfully cross over to white audiences. He appeared in a bunch of television on television a lot, and did a number of comedy albums. Uh, he was also at the forefront of political activism in the '60s when he protested the Vietnam War and racial injustice. Was arrested many times and went on many hunger strikes. I think that's also what led to his famed diet. I gotta look up that diet, by the way. I'm gonna talk about that too. Uh, he was also a motivational speaker and an author, and he was primarily promoting spirituality, which I'm actually leaning more into myself. Okay, and I know he served at Fort Lee. I served at Fort Lee myself. Wow, never knew that. I wish I had got a chance to see Dick Gregory, because Dick Gregory actually, he lived in D.C. For a number of years, where he later passed away at, and I probably ran into him on streets, didn't even know it was him. Because I ran into people like Chuck Brown, which is another guy I ran to many years ago. I ran him twice. And Chuck Brown was an idol. I was a big fan of his. I was glad I got to meet him too. And here's the crazy part: neither Chuck Brown or Dick Gregory was born in D.C. Chuck Brown was born in Carolinas. I think he was born in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. But and a lot of us people who live out here aren't even from originally born or raised in D.C. I was born in Cleveland, so But I will say that's why they call. I guess that's why they call this Chocolate City, because a lot of people that I know here are very, uh, they're very active here in this area, and a lot of different things, which is one of the things I love about DC and then the DC metro region. So, um, but I want to like the fact that that guys like him, broke ground in comedy, because really he is a pioneer in comedy. I don't care what anybody say. You know, and really he was number 82. They just said George. Dick Gregory was number 82 on Comedy Central's list of the 100 greatest stand-up comics of all time. Has All-Star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame. He also has one on the Hollywood Walk of Fame as well. Oh, that's where he sure was. Now, locally, I don't know if you guys will know that, but locally, he was a co-host with radio personality Kathy Hughes, who radio station WL was the basis of a film, which is based on a true story called "Talk to Me." All right, station that she worked at during that era. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I didn't know that, dog. Okay, yeah, I take that back. I did know that, yeah, because I used to listen to him on her show all the time back in the '90s. Yeah, I know he was on. What I did know that he was also on. He had been on Imus radio program too, Imus in the morning. Don Imus, who also was a former radio broadcaster in my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio. They hated Imus. They ran Imus out of there. He was in Cleveland for about a minute. Yeah, but he did lots of different things though. He actually also had a lot of people don't know. Dick Gregory also had. Oh, he has 11 children. I didn't know that. Wow. Dick Gregory also had man, he was active for a long time. Wow. 60 years. Almost 60 years. Dick Gregory. I forget what I was going to say. Oh, Dick Gregory also had, he was on YouTube frequently over the last several years, too. A lot of people don't know that. He appeared on many YouTube channel videos. Many of them. I watched them on quite a few, by the way. Yeah. But he had been all over the place. Hmm. Wow. But I give him credit, man. He was a pioneer. Now this is what I wanted to get to. Okay, in 1984, he founded Health Enterprises Incorporated, a company that distributed weight loss products. And I remember that was a big deal at the time. They said with this company, he had made efforts to improve the life expectancy of African Americans, which he believed was being hindered by poor nutrition and drug and alcohol abuse. Oh, that's right. He in '85 he started the Slim Safe Bohemian Diet. I gotta look that up. I wonder if it's still in existence. I don't know if it is now or not. But yeah, Bohemian Diet. Yeah, powdered mix diet, a powdered diet mix. They say he launched a weight loss powder at Whole Life Expo in Boston under the slogan "It's cool to be healthy." The diet mix, drunk 3 times a day, was said to provide rapid weight loss. Wow. They say he received at the time he received a multi-million-dollar distribution contract to retail the diet. Hmm. They say also in '85 the Ethiopian government adopted Gregory's formula to combat malnutrition during a period of famine in the country to reported success. Wow. Oh, yeah. And then just a few years ago, in 2014, Dick Gregory updated his original 4X formula, which was the basis of the Bohemian diet, and created his new and improved Caribbean diet for optimal health. I can look that up. Mm, wow. I don't really want to talk about that. I mean, they later found out it was a heart failure, but it was, I don't really go on and go on all that because I want to remember him for what he did. You know, he did quite a few albums though. Yeah, and I know he wrote a number of books. Wow. Okay. Okay. He was in a movie last year this past year called Leisure Seeker. I don't even recall that. I was looking at all the movies he was in. He was in a bunch of movies. Oh, that's right. He was in Panther. I forgot about that. Hmm. I was looking at the stuff that he was in. Wow. Hold on a second, guys. Wow. Just looking at movie he was in. Doesn't tell you much about it though. That's crazy. Yeah, he did a whole lot of movies. He done a few movies though. I know he was in that. He was in the Hot Chick. Really? Wait a minute. How do you remember in that movie? I'm gonna be honest. I don't barely remember him in Panther. He was how. Wow. I'm about to watch that again. I forgot that Van Peebles had directed and wrote a screenplay for Panther, a movie I hadn't seen in a long time. I was like, who was it? It's like there was a bunch of people in there. I forgot about that. Uh oh. Hmm. I just looked that up because Panther was a good movie. Just they really didn't get a lot of the props they should have got because it was a really good movie. Wow. So a bunch of people in there. Oh wow. I was just looking at the list. I was like, quite a few people in there. Wow. They don't really give yeah, they give credit in that movie. Wow. Wait a minute, you know what? I'm gonna have to look that up. I have to really look that up. Matter of fact, I need to get a copy of Panther. I haven't seen that in a while. It was a great film. I think it was the last movie he did called Leisure Sick. I don't know. I was just reading about this. I'm like, wait a minute. That's the last movie he did. I didn't know he was still doing movies. But they don't give him full credit in the film now. But they say he had a big headed role in it though. Wow. Okay. So he still they said Dick Gregory still stayed busy for a while though. You know. Wow. You gotta give him credit due, man. And one thing I can honestly say, he kept acting for a long time. How come they don't have Putney Swoop in his list, man? Because I know he was in that. I think he was in that. As far as I know. Interesting. I'm gonna try and look at his discography, but nevertheless, though, I mean, this was a guy, and I'll be honest with you, this was a guy. This was a man who risked everything he believed for the struggle. You know, he really he put his career and his life on the line for the struggle. This was a brother who didn't just talk about it; he was about it. Real talk, you know. And one thing about Dick Gregory that I always admire him for is his honesty and his uh his courage to stand up for what he believed in. He didn't backbite on a lot of stuff he said. He stood his ground. One of the things a lot of us don't do, we don't stand our ground on things we believe in, you know, that we talk about. I try to do that myself. I still do, you know. But I will always remember Dick Gregory as the godfather of political humor. Always will. Now, meanwhile, um, Jerry Lewis, I can go in on that all day as well. He, I was a kid, little boy. I was probably about when I really first started remembering watching any of that Jerry Lewis. I was probably about probably about at least I know for certain I was like 3 years old, and I watched a lot of his movies, man. You know, when I couldn't get outside, it was rainy or snowy or whatever, man. And I was feeling a little down, whatever. When we, my little brother and my sister were watch his movies, man. And I mean, his films were incredibly funny, man. As far as I'm concerned, I don't give a damn what nobody say. You know, I think for what he did, as far as comedians, I think he was one of the funniest at the time, one of the funniest white comedians I've ever seen, man. To this day, and the comedy he did, he did cursing in the bulk of his movies anyway. So well, let's go ahead and go with this. Of course, Jerry Lewis was born. His true name is his given name was Jerome or Joseph Leftwich. Anyway, I was born in 1926, and he was a comedian, actor, singer, producer, director, screenwriter, and humanitarian. Um, his comedy in film and television, stage, and radio was just game changer. the type of comedy he did. He really, if you watched him, if you know anything about the old school type of comedy, um, he came from that era. Well, he grew up in that era of the old comedies where they slap the pie in your face, or to get a laugh or something like that. You know, and that's the kind of comedy he did, but he modernized it. Um, he eventually teamed up with my homeboy D Martin from Steubenville, Ohio. Yeah, and D Martin, I was a big fan of his too. I could talk about that all day too. Um, they teamed up in the mid '40s, and at I guess a nightclub, and they were two different acts, but they teamed up. Eventually, it became the duo Martin Lewis, and from there they got so big, man. They were doing movies, nightclubs. They had their own show. They had their own series for a while on television in the 1950s. Concerts, they did it all. You know, albums, music, they did it all. I mean, really. Um, Jerry Lewis later on, after he broke up with Dean Martin in 1956, after about 16 films, uh, they did the muscular. Became the chairman, national chairman of the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon, and hosted the Labor Day telethon for years, 44 years. Wow, I thought longer than that. He received awards and achievements for lifetime achievements from the American Comedy Awards, LA Film Critics Association, Venice Film Festival, Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts and Sciences. It's honored with 2 stars. Walk two, really? How you get 2? I'll look at that in a minute. He, wow, 2. I could not believe that. He was married twice. I didn't realize that. He was born in Jersey. Interesting. Newark, New Jersey, too, by the way. So I was like, wait a minute. Okay, but anyway, I know his parents were Russian. I didn't know that. His father died in 1980. I didn't know that either. But anyway, so he was his parents were in as far as for my recollection, from what I read, his parents were involved with vaudeville. That's how he got started. Interesting. Okay, I won't go on that. I'm going to go into his other thing here when he teamed up with Dean Martin. Let me see here. Actually, the YouTube actually, and I hadn't too long marched that. I was about think about maybe earlier this year. I just got into late last year. I started watching. I never actually remember watching their old shows on TV when they did television together. For some reason, I got into watching their old TV shows, and let me pull it up right quick. For some reason, I got into watching their old TV show a number of years ago. I mean, about a year ago, and I was so how can I put it? I was so interested in it because I never seen it before, you know. And on the TV show was amazing. It's like these guys were like, it just flowed. It just flowed, you know. That's crazy. Let me see this. I'm trying to read about the live television, that they started doing because their shows were on live then. Let's see. I'm trying to read it. Okay, they had their own program, Martin Lewis Show on NBC Red Network. Let me explain to you about that. When they call it NBC Red, because they had a blue. It was a blue network and it was a red network. One was on the East Coast and one was on the red coast. I mean, west. One was on the East Coast, the other one was on the red. I keep saying red. One was on the East Coast and one was on the West Coast. That's what they called it. And ABC had became uh, the Blue Network, which is weird because NBC had two networks, like I said before, and one of the networks it was a red network and a blue network, and it sold the Blue Network in 1943, and it was renamed ABC. A lot of people don't know that. It's kind of weird because a friend of mine told me that many years ago, and I thought, oh man, you know what I'm talking about. And come to find out, he was right. He was right. So I guess I know what I was talking about, and I found out that he was totally right. It's weird. hmm So just go show you a lot of stuff you don't know that thinking you know, but you didn't really know. All right. I was reading some of the stuff. It's just interesting to know. I'm reading all the stuff. I'm like, wow. Okay, they started a show in 1950. Okay, here we go. That's what it was called, the Colgate Comedy Hour. That's what it was. And I know normally, of course, from who co-wrote Good Times and a bunch of other shows. Sanford and Son was a former writer for Martin Lewis. I did not know that. Hmm. I'm just reading about a couple of movies they did. My Friend Armor, I saw that was all right. At the War with the Army, that's a funny movie. That's my boy's funny. Say, like, we're out Jumping Jacks. I don't remember Jumping Jacks. Really? Oh, really? He appeared in a couple of Crosby and Hope films. Uh, Bob Hope, who was actually who grew up in Cleveland, my hometown. Yeah, I'm going to claim him. I know he was born in England, but he spent his childhood and then early adulthood in Cleveland, Ohio. That's my homie. So anyway, they said they appeared in two of their films. I didn't know that because that's who Martin and Lewis remind me of is Bob Hope and Bing Crosby. All right. Uh, Other movies they appeared in, they did it called The Stooge, Scared Stiff. That's a funny movie. The Caddy, I love. Money from Home, Living It Up, Three Ring Circus. I barely remember that. Never Too Young. That's my personal favorite. I love that movie. He was funny as shit in that movie. Arson Models. Wow. Let me see. Let's try to go through this all together. Okay. Yeah, last movie was the last two movies was I thought they did more movies than that though. Let's see. Uh Arson Miles and Partners. And the last movie was Hollywood a Bus, which I barely remember. Partners, I thought was the last movie. It was one of the Partners was one of the last two movies they did. Hollywood or Bus was the final film they did. I didn't know that. They said it was 16 movies, all produced by the same guy, Al B. Wells. Wallace, yeah. Let me see. I didn't know much about that either. Hmm. It's wild, man. It's a lot of stuff you don't know, man. It's like, it's interesting. The one thing I can say about Wikipedia, man, they have a wealth of information about a lot of different things that might want to know. I didn't know that DC Comics actually had a comic book named after them. I did not know that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Came out in 1952. That is pretty wild, man. I mean, I knew they were a big deal, but geez, they were that big of a deal. Oh my god! Wow. And wait a minute, are you serious? They said that publication for that magazine ran between 1952 and 1971. Wow, that is crazy. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, they said okay. Okay, I take that back. Well, wait, okay, I guess they republished it over the years. It originally ran from 1952 to 1957. That is crazy. I just had to read it. I was like, wow. Yeah, I mean, they were that big of a deal. Wow, that is nuts. I just had to read it. I was like, that's nuts. I mean, they were that big of a. I never even knew that. That's the first I heard about that. So, um, wow. Here we go. But anyway, so he went solo for a while after they broke up, and he did. Actually, no, he also sang as well, and he could sing. He actually Jerry Lewis had a great voice as a singer. That's no joke. And I do remember he did a couple of movies though. He actually sang leads on. One was Rockabye by Baby. That was a crazy movie too. Um, but he let me see. I mean, I say on this he did a lot of different things though. He was a big jazz fan. I know that. Um, let's go look at it. Delicate Delinquent was the first film I think he wrote and I think directed. Personally, I think that was one of the best movies he ever did, and not only as a comedian but as an actor. Yeah, yeah. To be honest, it just was a really good movie. Oh, he didn't direct it. He produced it though. Yeah, but it was a good movie. Damn, made 3 million at the box office. That's a lot of money for even for that day. But it was a pretty cool movie though. And I can honestly, oh really? I didn't know that either. I just had to read. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Dean Martin originally was supposed to have been playing in that film with Jerry Lewis. You know, The Delicate Delinquent, and they said it was made for a little under a $500,000. Really? That movie was made for a little under $500,000? Wow, crazy. I never knew that. I may get that. I actually may get that. Seriously, because I actually love that movie. Now it is weird because he did play a juvenile in the movie. I knew he was juvenile in the movie. I could say that. He was about 30 years old when he did the film. You know, he was still a young guy, but he wasn't no teenager. You know, that's crazy. But it was like I said, I think it was not only it was a great film, but there were some dramatic scenes in there that actually really kind of honestly, I said, wow. It kind of touched me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, but like I said, I love the film. Nevertheless, it's one of my favorite movies of his. If there was ever a movie that I could say about Jerry Lewis that I really liked outside of the Night Professor, it was The Delicate and Delinquent. I think there was a list of films that he did, but I think when he when he left, when he broke up with Dean Martin, I think that's when his career really took. Well, his career really did take off after that. It took off big time. You know. I was looking up all his movies. I was like, I'm trying to see. They don't have a whole list. They don't have a list of all his movies in here. Usually they have a filmography. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I had to create a separate page of his filmography. Wow. But I know that he's been in a couple of dramatic roles. I didn't realize he did one in '87. I've never seen it. Called "The Fight for Your Life" with the late Patty Duke, who was another favorite of mine. Morgan Freeman was in it too. Oh, you know that either. That's crazy. I'd have to see that. Hmm. It must have been one of them. That movie must have been out. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it was. It was probably out when I was overseas because I don't even remember seeing it. It was a TV movie. Oh, okay, that's why. I had to look that up. I definitely gotta look that up. I never knew that he did the TV movie. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. I was like, I don't remember saying that. Yeah, but he like I say, he's been in a bunch of movies over the years that I didn't know about. You know, but I mean, I'm gonna have to look up his filmography because I know he did do a lot of television movies. Wow. Because like I said, I could be all day. Okay, here's another movie I did. I like beside the Nutty Professor and Delicate Delinquent. Excuse me, The Family Jewels, classic Jerry Lewis. He was a master at that film, man. That movie was just he owned it. You know, but he did a lot. Matter of fact, when he left to go solo, he did a ton of movies for Paramount over the years. Ton of them. Wow. That's what I thought. I thought he did that. I know he had two talk. He had two shows in the '60s. Yeah, I thought he did. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and go through his filmography because I know he did a lot, and it's a separate page. That's the crazy part. It's a separate page. Wow. They show all of the films that he did from 1949 to 1956. And of course, he did like 16 films with him and Dean Martin. But I ain't gonna lie, I am a huge. I thought when I was a kid, I was one of the biggest Jerry Lewis fans ever. I still kind of am though, you know. But I'm looking at the films he did from the time he did Delicate Delinquent, man. Wow. I think they said he did like some 50 some odd movies or something like that, over 50 films during his entire career. He did quite a few movies. I could read you the stuff that he did as a solo artist. I said Delinquent, all the ones I saw. The Sad Sack, Rockabye My Baby, The Geisha Boy. Okay, Don't Give Up the Ship. I think I remember that. He was in Little Abner. I don't even remember him being in that. Wow, that's crazy. And I've seen that movie. Visit to a Small Planet. I don't remember that. The Bellboy, Cinderella, Lays Man. Yeah, I remember. I think I remember that one. Errand Boy. I like that movie. There's only money. I remember that. Nutty Professor. Oh, okay. Damn. He released like 3 films in the same year. Nutty Professor is a madman. I didn't know he was in that. Okay, I just saw that about 2 weeks ago. It's a mad world. I did not know Jerry Lewis was in it. I know Dean Martin was in it. I know Jerry Lewis. They was in the same film. They weren't in at the same time now. Who's Minding the Store? I don't remember that. The Patsy. I've been wanting to see that movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. The Disorderly Orderly. The Family Jewels classic film. Boing, threw on the couch. I saw that. Way out. The Big Mouth. Don't Raise the Bridge. I don't remember that one. Hook, Line, Sinker. I didn't know he was in the movie with Sandy One More Time. I didn't even remember he was in that. They say he was off-screen voice of band leader. I think Which Way to the Front. I barely remember that. Now, here's the thing. There was a movie that he did that never actually got made. It was called The Day the Day the Clown Died. Now, my understanding, it was supposed to be, I guess they wrote a script on it. The movie that he, and I know they talked about when I was a kid. They actually talked about the movie when they were shooting the film in 1972. It was an unreleased movie by Jerry Lewis, based on a script of the same name. It has never been released. They said it was embarrassing bad work of which he was ashamed of. And to be honest, I can't see a movie that's supposed to be a comedy about something that was so horrible during that era. I couldn't. So I think he's the only person that knows. Okay. It's weird. Just had to read over it. But not too many people have actually seen it. Oh, Harry Shearer, a comedian from Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons, actually see. So I heard about that. So you saw a rough cut of the film. My understanding that the National Archives, one of the places out here in the DMV, Smithsonian actually has a copy of the movie. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Library of Congress. I said August 5th of 2015, the LA Times reported that Lewis had donated a copy of the film to the Library of Congress. And according to what I'm reading, they said under the stipulation that it not be screened before June of 2024 at his request. The Library of Congress intends to screen it at their audiovisual conservation campus right out here in Culpeper, Virginia. They say Ralph Stone, curator of the Library of Congress, has stated that he will not be able to loan the film to other theaters or museums without permission from Lewis's estate. So he also says that he stated that they do not have any intent to release the film in any form of home media. Although I'll be honest, they actually had. Oh, somebody has some footage of that. I'll be honest, I don't even know if I want to see it. I'll click on this right quick just to see. Oh, videos unavailable. That's right, they did pull it. I heard they pulled it off of YouTube. YouTube actually had a copy of it. There actually was a copy of it on YouTube, and apparently it got pulled. Yeah. Oh wow. That's usually how it happens sometimes. But I haven't. I want to see if somebody actually still got it online. Because I've never seen it. I heard about it. I've seen stills. I'm looking at a still of one right now. I don't know what the heck made him ever want to do that kind of movie anyway. In the first place. You know. Whoa. I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm looking at a picture of Lala Anthony in a string bikini. Good God Almighty. Good Lord. I'm not to say that picture. I'm sorry. I gotta see it somewhere. Good Lord. Man. Yeah, I gotta say that one. That's a keeper. Good Lord. She talk about fall in love with yourself first. Not before I do. I tell you that right now. Yeah, I'll get to that later. Good Lord. What Morris they used to say back in the day, Mary, sweet mother Jesus. I just had to remember. I just had to see that. It's like, good Lord, mercy. But anyway, I wanted to go over that right quick. I'm just talking right now. But like I said, I never understood why he wanted to do a movie like that. Never understood that. Never understood. I don't. You know, I'm actually glad they did. They didn't do that. You know, I'm actually glad. I don't think that was a movie you should have ever thought about making. I really don't. I really don't. I know somebody's going to release it. It's going to happen. Guarantee it. Somebody's going to put it out. I was looking at all the movies that he did. He did quite a few films, though. Yeah, quite a few movies. But he did a movie I didn't even know he did. A movie called Slapstick of Another Kind. I've never heard of that. Hmm. I'm gonna cover a movie he did. I was like, man, I don't even remember seeing that movie. I really don't. Don't even remember seeing it. Yeah, but he did. He did. I mean, he did quite a few films though. But Day the Clown Cried, but was a movie he and I think for about 8 years he did another film in 1980 that I did see called Hardly Working. And I saw King and Comedy cracking up. I don't remember that one. I'm just looking at. I'm just going through a lot of movies that he did, and I was like, I don't remember those movies. There was movies that he did that I don't even remember seeing. Oh, really? So the last movie he directed was a movie called Smorgas. Oh no, that's another name for it. Cracking Up, and I don't even remember seeing it. But they said it was the last film that he directed before he died last week. Came out in 1981, 82, something like that. Yeah. To look that up because a lot of there's quite a few movies that he put out I've never seen. I literally have never seen. Never seen. So I had to look it up. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I was a big fan of his. I'm looking at some of the stuff that he did and say, wow. Hmm. Yeah, there's movies he had put out overseas that he's never released over here. And guess what they were filming in French? I kid you not. No wonder they had such a big deal. No wonder it was such a big deal. So this and the other movie I just mentioned were two movies that it was strictly for European release. Never been released to the U.S. Hmm. I had to pull it up. I actually, because like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of his. I've never seen. It was just some of the movies about four or five, several movies he did I didn't see. I'm looking. I was like, wow, when did these movies come out? you know, I said, look, and I was like, wow. This is crazy. Wow. That is nuts. Yeah. I mean, he did. I mean, movies that he did, I was like, I never even know he did. Yeah, Cook, I remember that. I saw that movie. I didn't know there's some of these movies I didn't even know he had done. There was a movie called Arizona Dream. I didn't know it was in that. I mean, so to be honest, Jerry Lewis did quite a few movies over the years. I didn't even know he'd done. So like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, it's like I'm looking at the list, like, wow. I mean, tons of movies. I'm like, wow. So that's why I can understand why they call him the king of comedy. Yeah. Wait a minute. I didn't even know this. He did a new version of the Night Professor as it appears to be a computer animated movie of the Night Professor. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. I went directly to video. I still like to see it though. I'm gonna look that up. I've never seen that. Wow, that's nuts. I mean, he did movies. I was like, wow. He did movies. He did animated movies too. I know he had a cartoon series. A lot of people don't know. I knew that. Yeah, that I do know. I'm like, wow. I'm looking at all the stuff that he did. It's like a ton of stuff he did. Wow, that's crazy. The Trust. Wait a minute. I just saw that movie. I didn't even know it was in that. I just saw this movie. Yeah. The Trust that was with Nicolas Cage and Elijah Wood. I didn't know Jerry Lewis was in that. That's a movie that was out last year. I did not even know he was in it. Also, you know what? I take that back. Yeah, he was in that. Max Rose was apparently was his final film. Yeah. One thing about Jerry Lewis, he worked right up to the end, man. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, I will say this. Um, I'm gonna have to really, as a real fan, because I am a big fan of his as well. I'm gonna definitely have to look into that. They don't mention the cartoon that he did years and years ago. Because I'm trying to look it up right now. Because it was a cartoon. I remember I was a kid. There was a cartoon that he did. They were a little short, ran 2 years. Hmm. But in any case, the guy was a comic genius. And I never forgot it. He did a lot of film and television appearances over the years. A lot of film. And I want to have to really look that up. But I know there's a cartoon series that they did. His voice actually, he actually wasn't in the cartoon. His voice was done by another guy. Um, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to see if I can pull it up because I forgot he can't get credit for that because he actually was not in the cartoon. So, but he done a ton of stuff over here. I'm looking at all the stuff he did. He did quite a bit of things. All right. Well, anyway, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and move on out of here. I appreciate you guys listening. I wish I had more to talk about right now. Trying to wind it down here. This was a sort of a not quite an event for weekend, but like I said, I gotta watch the fight. I just wanted to get things off my chest here. Uh, the only other thing I wanted to really say is about I'm gonna talk about Colin Kaepernick briefly, and I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Although I agree with Colin Kaepernick and several of the players, as well as people taking a stance on his protests against the police brutality of black men in this country. I'm on the fence about trying to protest the NFL to get him back on board. He left the 49ers. Although he may have gotten traded anyway, or he might have got released if they were going to do that. But you have to understand one thing. If he's not good as a player, he had to earn his way to get back in. That's why I said the protest itself to get him back in the NFL is a bit on the ludicrous side to me. That's just my take on that. Because you're going to still have to earn your spot just like anybody else. Real talk. And to get him back on board just because he protested, I think it's a bit of a moot point. Because he didn't get fired. You know. And he didn't definitely get fired due to his stance. You remember he went from first string to second string, so he gonna have to work back to get a starting job like anybody else. So I don't totally agree with that. I think it's a waste of time for the protest. It's not going to stop people from watching the games anyway. If you want to protest the NFL as a whole. And then you can go from there. But as far as just protesting to be protesting, no, we got bigger things to deal with. We got bigger fish to fry. We need to deal with the racism down in Charlottesville and all across this country and all across this world. We got time for just that. It's a lot of stuff we got to get to. And I'm going to tell y'all people, y'all better start learning to vote. Y'all complain about my vote don't count, my vote don't count this, my vote don't count that. Y'all better get off your ass and start voting. That's the bottom line. We complain about shit, but then when time come to step it up and move on, you won't do nothing but sit on your ass and complain. In lies the problem. So, all right, guys, this is DJ Wolf. That's all I gotta say right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get off the air, guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate that. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing and get on up out of here. All right. Well, I'm gonna let my girl sounds off here. Go ahead, baby girl. Do your thing. Hey. Where's she at? Hello? Oh, I guess not. Well. Is she ain't on it? Oh, wait a minute. You know, let me hurry up and get baby girl here right quick. Come on in, baby girl.
Hey, what's happening? This is DJ Wolf Show here. This is the Sunday night edition of DJ Wolf Live. He tried to get on the Spreaker channel on, but you know, unfortunately he had problems today, so with that, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I did. So, all right, sign me off, baby girl. I'm out.
All right, guys, this is the DJ Wolf Sunday Night Special. Glad you enjoyed it. Glad for you guys listening. Of course, it's produced by DJ Wolf for DJ Wolf Live and for All to Hear TV. Questions or comments, please contact him at foralltohear@gmail.com. For All to Hear on Twitter. For All to Hear on YouTube in the comment section here. You can also be reached at DJ Wolf Live at yahoo.com. DJ WOLFONLINE at yahoo.com. DJ Wolf Live on Facebook and For All to Hear on Facebook. All right, guys. This is Baby Girl signing off for DJ Wolf Live. And we out.